Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The words you have in front of you now are taken from page 68. Now this is just to test you on your understanding of moon letters and the sun letters before adding the and see what's the implication of that. So this is a mix. Some of them are Qamariya, which is your moon letters, and some are Shamsiya, which is your sun letters. Now, in the book, you need to copy them out and do the exercise in the sense that you add L and then you put appropriate vowels after L has been attached. Let's try it out now. Ainun, an I, Ainun. Now, here, when we add L of do we keep the lam with sukun or not? The answer to that is, you first identify Ain. Is Ain moon letter or a sun letter? So Ain is a moon letter. So here we're going to add L. That's your original Ain. Here becomes U because of L. So you're going to say Al Aino. Al Aino. Lam of retains the sukun because the moon letter has no shadda on it, doesn't require a shadda after the L of Next one, Farashatun. Farashatun, Fa is also moon letter. Therefore, we retain the sukun of Al of Al Farashatu. So Al Farashatu. Single U at the end. Toblatun. Toblatun starts with To. That To is sun letter. As a result, when sun letter is placed after L of that letter will carry shadda. And as a result, the lam will be without the sukun. We remove the sukun. So, a top latu. A top la tu. That's your to. After the addition of is now carrying shadda. And that shadda has embedded sukun within it. Therefore, the L, the sukun on lam, is being suppressed and deleted. We say at-toblatu. Next, Jamalun. Jim is a moon letter. Al-Jamalu. Al-Jamalu. We retain the sukun on a lam. Next, Rishatun, and that is sun letter, the Ra. Ar-Rishatu. Shadda is required now because the sun letter comes after so we say Ar-Rishatu. Ar-Rishatu. Now, note how I put the kasra under the shadda. So, Ar-Rishatu. Dharfun, again, Dha is a sun letter. Al-Dharfu. Al-Dharfu. الظرف. We have الظرف. Here we've removed the sukun from the lam. الظرف. يمامة. Next one. يمامة. Ya is a moon letter. اليمامة. اليمامة. So al has sukun on the lam. Yamamatu, single u. Next column here we have namlatun to start with. Namlatun. Noon is a sun letter. So we say an namlatu. Shadda an namlatu. We have an namlatu. You notice that all the sun letter, when they come after the L of the, we put shadda on them. Such as you have your rishatun becomes arishatu. الظرف. النملة. Next, غلاية. Ghain is moon letter. A moon letter. Ghain. غلاية. غلاية. We retain the sukun on the lam. Asadun. Asadu. The A is a moon letter. Asadu. Now note how I put the alif with hamza inside the extended lam. So that's the lam, and this is alif with hamza, because the alif is the last one before this sin. That's why there's no joining going on. So al-asadu. Let's move this up off a bit. So al-asadu. Sullamun. Sin is a sun letter. You will say as-sullamu. As-sullamu. Shajaratun. Ash-shajaratu. Another sun letter. Ash-shajaratu. Ash-shajaratu. Hatifun. Al-hatifu. That's your moon letter, the ha. Al-hatifu. Al-hatifu. Mishtun. Shin. Mim. Al-mish. Mim is a moon letter. Al-mishtu. Al-mishtu. Let's put the kasr of ta a little bit above. Al-mishtu. Well done. So the principle of moon letter with L of the is you retain the sukun on the lam. Whereas if any of the sun letter comes after L of the, you put shadda on that sun letter and then you remove the sukun from the lam. Now we have just finished now the right hand side column of page 68. Now we're going to move on now to do the left hand side column on the same page, page 68. Left hand column of page 68. we continue the practicing of the moon and sun letters. Sod, that's sun letter. We add L of the, as-sokrun. As-sokru becomes as-sokru, single U. As-sokru. Shadda on Sod, sokru. As-sokru. So we have as-sokru. Waladun, al-waladu. Wow is a moon letter. Al-waladu. Al-waladu. No shadda because it's a moon letter. Next, kuratun. Al-kuratu. 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 Thallajatun. That tha is a sun letter. Al-thallajatu. Shadda. Al-thallajatu. Hablun. Al-hablu. Moon letter. Al-hablu. Al-hablu. Zubdatun. Za or Zain is a sun letter. Az-zubdatu. Az-zubdatu. Dhailun. Al-dhailu. Sun letter is Dhal as well. Al-dhailu. Shadda. Al-dhailu. We continue on the next column. Qalbun. Al-qalbu. Al-qalbu. That's a moon letter. Babun. Ba is a moon letter. Al-babu. 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 Fa'labun is a sun letter. Al-fa'labu. Al-fa'labu. Deekun. Ad-deeku. Sun letter. Ad-deeku. Note how I put the kasra under the shadda. Ad-deeku. Khawkhun. Al-khawkhu. Al-khawkhu. ضبع. الضبع. الضبع. لحم. اللحم. So the first lam is silent. Say اللحم. لحم. اللحم. Now there are one or two more notes that we need to go through inshallah shortly regarding the L of the. So we're going to concentrate later on the two letters of article the a and then the lam, and we extend that to see how they behave once they are in a sentence, which will encourage us to know more how to read ahead and read more smoothly inshallah. So okay, we're now on the on page 69. We're going to do the first half, the top half of page 69. Before we explain what you're looking at on the board, let me just go back a little and talk more about L of the. Remember, the L of the, we have alif and the lam. You have fatha on the alif, fatha, and the sukun on the lam. That means the in Arabic. Let's look at them individually, these two letters. The A remain to be pronounced only when you start your sentence with it. If it is at the beginning, nothing else relating to that alif from the right. Such as, I give you an example. If I say al-khair, al al-khairu, the goodness, or al-babu, the door, al-khairu. You can see now I'm pronouncing this this alif. See what's happened if I say and the goodness. What's and? And is wa. Just by adding one letter before that alif, by putting here wa. Now, the alif is not at the beginning anymore. So therefore, that a will be suppressed. The a now become silent. You will say wal khayru, not wa al khayr. Wal khayru. So the alif of al of the retain its fatha a if it is at the beginning of a phrase or a sentence. If you have word before it or a letter before it, that alif will still be there but is suppressed and silent, as I just demonstrated here. Yeah, that's why we say, if I write this for you, do you know how to pronounce that? That means Allahu. Allahu, the God. Allahu. But if you put wow there, by God, you say Wallahu, not wa Allahu. You say Wallahu. Wallahi. Mathalan, Wallahi. Wallahu. That alif is still there, but is now silent. That's one principle. So now let's move back to the L now. The lam of L, we've already learned that if you have letter, sun letter attached to it, that sun letter will be carrying shadda, and therefore the sukun on the lam will be suppressed. So you will learn from that, you can deduct from that the following. If you have sun letter after L, and you have a word or letter before A, both of them can actually become silent. So therefore, I'll give you an example. Let's have a look. If I say As-salam, if I say As-salam, As-salamu, the peace. As-salamu. This sin is a sun letter. That's why it's carrying the shadda after al. And that's why the sukun of lam has been removed. So as-salamu. What about if I say wa and the peace? Alif also becomes silent. You say wassalamu, not wa as-salamu. Now the alif is silent because it's not at the beginning. There is a letter before it. The lam is silent because we have the sun letter after it, which is carrying shadda, and the shadda has an embedded sukun within it. So they're both silent for different reasons. So as-salamu becomes wassalamu. As you assalamu alaikum wa alaikumus salam. Because we have wa alaikumus salam, the alif of the second salam is not at the beginning anymore. So you should say as-salamu. I'll say, let's start again. Say as-salamu alaikum. As-salamu alaikum. Write it down for you. Alaykum. Assalamu alaykum. Peace be upon you. Then here you see Assalamu alaykum. The reply will become wa alaykumus salam. That will be wa alaykum wa alaykumus salam. Wa alaykumus salam. Shadda. Now, Assalamu alaikum. We say ah. But in the reply, wa alaykumus salam. Now, this alif is not at the beginning anymore. Therefore, it's now silent. And the lam is also silent for different reason. Because this is saying is sun letter. It's carrying shadda. So, Assalamu alaikum wa alaykumus salam. Ah, you see, you learn that at the beginning in the transliteration format using the Latin script. Now, no need anymore for using Latin script to read Arabic. You now reach a situation where now you know all the rules and you can read Arabic using Arabic text. So, Assalamu alaikum. If you analyze this, that's your fatha, is the, sin is your sun letter, that's shadda. Lam, you have extension there, that's your lengthening as-salamu. Alay, that's ya with sukun, which is I sound. You learn that? Alaykumus, alaykum. Sukun, alaykum. So you have your sukun there, which is cutting the sound of mim to alaykum. But here you wa alaykumus salam. You are effectively linking the mu sound to the first embedded sin with sukun here. Wa alaykumus and then salam. As you know, these are two sins now because of the shadda. Wa alaykumus salam. That's emphasis. So that's, and if you can master that, the way the al behaves, honestly, your reading will become much more fluent and you can read ahead of yourself. Now, let's now go back to the first half of page 69 and look at these sentences and I'll explain it to apply the principle of al. The first one, have a go. Sabahul khair. Sabahul khair, meaning good morning. Sabahul khair. Note this al khair, because this alif is not at the beginning, is been suppressed in terms of pronunciation. It's silent, it's not said. Sabahu, this hu is the nearest to the sukun on the lam. And sukun always look back to see the first available vowel to be linked, to be connected with it. So it look back, this is the nearest. Doesn't matter how far, that's the nearest. So sabahul, in a sense you are doing hul, linking that. Ignoring your pronunciation, the alif is now silent. Sabahul khair. Sabahun nur. Here you have hu. Alif is silent for the same reason, because it's not at the beginning. Lam is silent here because noon is your sun letter. It's carrying shadda. So therefore, the sukun on lam of al has been removed. So the first available vowel to be linked to the one of the embedded noon. There are two noons there. The first one is carrying sukun. So you are saying sabahun nur. Sabahun nur. So sabahul khair, sabahun nur. Next sentence, let's analyze that. Ada abi min as-suq. My dad returned from the market. Ada abi minas. Look at the na here. The alif is silent because it's not at the beginning of a sentence. The lam is silent because of sin is a sun letter which is carrying shadda. So we linked na to and with the first sin which is hiding there with shadda, minas suq. Next sentence, رجع الطالب من المدرسة. الطالب, the student, returned from the school. رجع الطا. Ta is sun letter, and that's why the lam has become quiet. Alif is quiet, is silent because it's not at the beginning. Therefore, we need to link the a to the first to, which is hiding here, carrying sukun. Raja'at talibu. Min al-madrasati. Mim is moon letter. So therefore, it's not carrying any shadda, and there's no reason why we should not keep the sukun on the lam of al. Min al-madrasati. But alif is silent because it's not at the beginning. There is something before it. Next sentence. أبحث عن الكتاب المفقود. I'm searching for the missing book. The missing book. أبحث, I'm searching. عن الكتاب. Again, this alif is silent because it's not at the beginning. The lam retains its sukun because the kaf is a moon letter, it's not a sun letter. Abhathu anil kitab bil, the same principle, anil kitab bil. So don't read by saying abhathu an ani al kitab al mafqud. La, you need to read, connect, read ahead, join them, so that will give you a smooth reading. أبحث عن الكتاب المفقود يعني عن الكتاب المفقود. Next sentence. يبحث الشرطي. يبحث الشرطي عن اللص الشارد. Let's analyze this. يبحث Again, alif is silent because it's not at the beginning. Lam is silent because shin, which is sun letter, after it, and it's carrying the shadda. Therefore, you link the thu with the first shin, which is carrying sukun. يبحث الشرطي عن اللي. Nun, ni, is the alif is not at the beginning, it's silent. lam, the first lam which belongs to al, is silent as well, because the lam here is your sun letter, which is carrying the shadda. Therefore, you link the ni with the first lam hiding here, which is carrying sukun. يبحث الشرطي عن اللص. Now, this sort is has kasra there. The second soul which is hiding there is kasra. You link that with the first sheen, which is carrying sukun here. Alif is silent because not at the beginning. Lam is silent because you have sun letter after the lam of al. So يبحث الشرطي عن اللص الشارد. So it's smoother rather than stop to say يبحث الشرطي عن اللص الشارد. لا, it's go straight. يبحث الشرطي عن اللص الشارد. And there you have your Assalamu alaikum wa alaykum assalam. Now, we are now be dealing with, inshallah, the second half of page 69. We continue practicing the implication of L, of the, together with Shamsiya, moon letter, and sun letter. The first sentence here, تدرس أختي الطب في الجامعة. تدرس أختي الطب. My sister is studying medicine at the university. So أختي الطب. Look at the way the lengthening ya without anything here would be أختي, lengthening ya. But because of this structure, you need to jump this ta, the first embedded ta with sukun, because of shadda, makes the lam become silent and is crying for a link. The nearest link vowel is ti. So therefore, the lengthening e sound becomes slightly shortened. You say أختي الطب. You jump in. أختي الطب. تدرس أختي الطب في الجامعة. Again, this is fi under normal circumstances. It's fi, lengthening. But here you need to link this lam sukun with fi, with the vowel. So more or less you are passing over the lengthening. So fil جامعتي. تدرس أختي الطب في الجامعة. Next one. اجلس على الكرسي. على, which is like alf maqsura, lengthen is a little bit, but under this structure, you just jump the la with the la. على, link على. اجلس على الكرسي الأخضر. اجلس على الكرسي الأخضر. Line 3. أذهب. This اجلس على الكرسي الأخضر. Sit on the green chair. أذهب إلى المدرسة الثانوية المحلية. It is long sentence, but you need to link each of the vowel to the shadda to make sure that it is smooth reading ahead. أذهب إلى, you shorten the lengthening here. إلى المدرسة مدرسة الثانوية المحلية. So don't say أذهب إلى المدرسة الثانوية المحلية. No, because a of al here need to be silent. So أذهب إلى المدرسة الثانوية المحلية. Next one, short and sweet. ذو الحجة. ذو الحجة. That's ذو الحجة. That's the name of Islamic calendar, and it's a month. What's the month? And that's 12. That's the last month of Islamic calendar, called Dhul Hijjah, when Muslims go to Mecca to perform the pilgrimage. Dhul Hijjah. Look how this lengthening dhu now been shortened. You just link the dhu with lam sukun. Dhul Hijjah. أذهب إلى المدرسة بالقطار والحافلة. So I go to the school by train and by bus. You know what's happening here. إلى المدرسة, we shorten, just link the la with lam. إلى. But here, this was put there to call your attention that this is the only single letter here, and the al is still there. You may not recognize, but it's al joined with b. Bil qitar. Earlier on, I told you wallah. It doesn't matter any letter. Before that a becomes silent. So bil qitari wal hafilati. It could be ka. You can say kalbaiti, karrajuli, kalbabi. It doesn't matter. It could be ka, it could be fi, it could be b, it could be any letter. The alif will become silent indeed. أذهب إلى المدرسة بالقطار والحافلة. Now, the secret of reading fluently in Arabic is for you to pay attention to all the vowels, and particularly to the long vowel. If there is no long vowel, don't elongate your pronunciation. If they say kutubun, don't say kutu, la, short, kutubun. If there is a lengthening, let's hear this lengthening. Kitab, wadud, abi. Let's hear that. That's one secret of reading correctly. Lengthening when it's there, shorten it when it's short. Also pay attention to the sukun. The sukun needs to look back for the available vowel and link. Number 3, shadda. If you have shadda, the symbol shadda on any letter, let's hear it. Double that letter in your pronunciation. Make it stronger, strengthening it. And that is the secret of reading Arabic. And also make sure that you read smoothly. Rule governing the L of the. Revise that, okay? And now you can see any text in Arabic which is fully vocalized, which have all the symbols on them. You should be able to read them. Initially it may be very slow because you have to spell them out, but by practice through practicing and read a lot of text from book 1 and later on from book 2 and so on, you will become much more fluent in your reading, and you read correctly as well. Well done. We are approaching the end now. Inshallah, the next page will be practicing how to read, and that will start from page 70.